Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion, your host, the Hut, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut. Hopefully you like this video. We're starting this video, recording this video for the Mets game against the Nationals, so I don't know what the outcome is going to be. It doesn't matter at this point. The Mets are 24 and 35 at this point in the season? Pretty lousy. Pretty lousy start. Pretty lousy team, and really, quite frankly, I'm sick of looking at them. Now, we're getting into this video. A couple things you need to know about me. I do these fun videos. We have a lot of fun here at Baseball Hut, talking about the Mets and all these other teams and stuff. But I come from a different kind of take in terms of YouTube. And I was a little mean back then, to be honest with you. And this is going to be a video where I'm going to be very mean about some of these players that are on our team right now. I am not Wardy. He's a nice kid. I'm not Let's Talk with Rob. I'm none of these other YouTubers. I'm not somebody that wants to be in the know. I mean, I want to get guests. We're going to get guests in here, but I'm not one that pulls any punches. And I don't care if I get some players' feathers ruffled. I know when I started up on them last year and started calling them a bunch of losers, and Daniel Vogelback, the biggest loser of the group, I know that the team did not react well to it. I know they were doing that weird, degenerate gesture on the field with Pete Alonso, but I don't really care, you know. And that didn't last long because once a Buck got wind of what they were doing and realized they was being criticized, that stopped pretty damn quick. But this photo, which I'm showing you here, was taken after the game on Sunday. Now, as you know, the Mets lost on Sunday to the Diamondbacks 5-4. They split the series. Now, this is in regards to what happened to the Jorge Lopez situation. As you know, Jorge Lopez said after a game last week against the Dodgers, after he was thrown out and threw his glove into the stands, that the Mets were was the worst team in baseball. We also know that last year Tommy Pham had questioned this team's sense of purpose. He questioned whether they were really a team that wanted to win. He was very, very tough on them. But some of the things he said about them, that they were one of the laziest teams that he's ever been on. But as you can see with this picture was taken obviously after the game. And I posted a short, which was a clip from Moneyball, saying, we know what happened in the game. If you watch the movie, beginning of the movie, the A's are losing, and they lost the game, and Billy Beane, played by Brad Pitt, went in and said, "Why are you all having fun here? Is losing fun? No, losing's not fun. So why are you having fun after the game?" Now, these guys can take pictures all they want, but they post it on social media. And that's when you can talk about it. The Mets are struggling as a team, okay? The organization's not struggling. The organization's going in the right direction. The farm system, the players in the farm system are doing great. It's only a matter of time before we start seeing some other pitching prospects getting here. Probably Blade Tibble is probably the next guy on the horizon. But this group has a lot of problems. This veteran team, and this is the oldest team in baseball, so this group should know better. Now, they had this meeting after the whole situation where they lost to the Dodgers in this last game. They lost 10-3. The game was much closer than that, by the way. But they had this meeting. They made such a big deal out of it after 2 wins, and then they lost the last 2 games against the Diamondbacks. They embarrassed Met fans on Saturday because we had all the great Met players of the '86 team and all these other great Mets of the past, and Darryl Strawberry in the house, and Dwight Gooden in the house, and Keith and Ron, and all these great guys, Hojo, and they embarrassed us. They embarrassed themselves. They didn't even effing showed up. So after 2 losses in a row, these assholes decided to post this, and this was from Luis Severino. Would he have done this with the Yankees? Would he have posted this with the Yankees? I don't think so. I mean, some of the veterans in this group is quite telling. Starling Marte, who's done nothing in the last year and a half. You know, okay, oh, my groin, okay, that you're long past your groin hurting you. It is now time to put up or shut up. Either you're done or sick of looking at it. Francisco Lindor, the captain. Why am I not surprised he's in the middle of this garbage? No surprise there. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. He's played great while the Mets have been playing so poorly, but you know what? He's a tough guy, isn't he? Jose Iglesias. Surprisingly, he put his name in there. They tagged him in here. Iglesias. You want to go back to the minors? I don't think you want to go back. Jose Quintana, who has been a disappointment this year. The Mets could move him if he pitches to his type, to the way he's pitched in the past. And he's got a big smile on the back. Luis Torrens, who just got here. I mean, sucking in these guys that just got here. Mark Vientos, this is not a good thing for him to be around. This veteran leadership is a mess. It's time to get them the F out of here. But don't worry, Francisco Lindor is the captain. He's the captain. What a great guy he is. Couldn't get Jeff McNeil a car for over a year. I would mention about McNeil. Not played in 2 days. He's not playing again today. So he's gone 2 days in a row without playing against the lefty. Mendoza said before the game that they want to sit him because they're not happy the way he's been swinging. Oh, you think so? Really? They haven't been happy with the way he's been swinging the bat. They said that he's trying to hit the ball in the air and they don't really care for his approach. It's really more for his approach, amazingly enough. And it's been terrible. McNeil's been a disaster. But to see these guys, Quintana, Severino, Marte and Quintana in particular. Marte has done nothing, folks, in a year and a half. Again, we don't care about his complaining about his fucking groin or complaining about this or complaining about that. Is there a reason why you can't catch a fly ball anymore? And Francisco Lindor, again, this is why this team is a mess. Not just because they're losing, but there is zero leadership on this team. Zero. Meanwhile, Pete Alonso's getting hit. He's going to the hospital, get his hand checked. The media asks him, "Hey, Pete, what do you think about this meeting that happened while you were in the hospital?" "I have no opinion." What a tough polar bear. Your team is a disaster, but you have no opinion about the meeting that took place while you were getting your paw looked at. This is a disaster. And like I said in other videos, the Mets stars have failed us as Met fans. Diaz has done nothing. Now, I know Diaz is trying to come back from an injury, but he's done nothing this year. And I'll try to be fair. Lindor is a disaster. He's one of the most overrated players in the game. I've seen enough of his act. We know about the thumbs down. We know about him taking bows in Cleveland because there was a call overturned and in the ballpark. It was a bang play. It could have went either way at the time. And he's taking bows, goofing around with his former teammates. His buddy Jose Ramirez, the current ugliest man in baseball. The all-time ugliest man in baseball was, don't you? Willie McGee. Google Willie McGee, a picture when he played. Ugh. I didn't think I'd be complaining about Willie McGee's appearance, but I like to laugh sometimes. I shouldn't talk, I'm no Brad Pitt myself. Just saying. But to see this sort of behavior between what's going on the field, especially with this supposed leader, fighting with McNeil, and then after the game, instead of owning up to it, they tried to bullshit their way through it. This 3 years ago. This team has done nothing. This group has done nothing for 5 years. McNeil, Nimmo, Alonso, Diaz, Lindor. Time to get them all out of here. And I'm not going to let up until that happens. I don't care what money has to be moved. I don't care. I'm not going to stop complaining. And I would mention, like I said, I'm not Wardy. I'm not that Mets talk with Rob. I'm not even the grifter, Frank Fleming. Frank Fleming's all a bullshit act. Okay, he's making so much money now because of this situation with the Mets being bad. That's all an act. He's a broadcaster, your host. I'm not a broadcaster. I don't have a broadcasting background. I'm a Mets fan that wants the Mets to win. I don't care what it takes. I don't care what happens. I have no loyalty to one player on this team. Not one. They've not earned it. And it's funny. In the past, folks, in the past, I've always bought a jersey with a player's name on it. Gary Carter, Keith Hernandez, Dwight Gooden, David Wright, Mike Piazza. I had so many shirts of Mike Piazza. I've not gotten one jersey or shirt with any of these assholes' names on it because I never felt they were worthy enough for your host to want them represented. I didn't want to represent these guys. None of these guys is worth it. None of it. I don't care how much Lindor makes. He can make $1 billion. He's still a crappy shortstop. He's not the best shortstop in the game. He's the most overrated one. We've seen how much losing. He's been here 4 years, folks. They only had one winning season. When the Mets needed him the most in September of 2022, nowhere to be found. When they needed him in October against the Braves, nowhere to be found. When the Mets needed him against the Padres, nowhere to be found. Last year, while Pete Alonso was hurt in that June, he was nowhere to be found. Marte has been absent for over a year and a half. And you have guys like Jeff McNeil. He stole money from the Mets. People call him the squirrel. He's more like a rat. Now, I'm just getting warmed up now. I'm just getting warmed up. Like I said, there is not one player worth rooting for on this team. Sorry, Brandon Nimmo. He's going to get dragged into this because he's been here such a long time now. Been here 9 years, or 8 years. I hate seeing him getting dragged into this because he's probably the best guy on this team. But he's part of this. And there's major problems with this group. And I don't like the idea that these assholes are smiling, taking pictures, hamming it up on social media. You want to take pictures and smile and stuff for yourselves and share it with themselves. But if you're posting it publicly, then I'm going to talk about it. And like I said, I am relentless here. When I start up, I don't let up. I am relentless. Okay? Now, I don't know what's going to happen in this game. I got the pregame on now. And this video will go up right after this game. And I feel bad for the guys that have to work every day and follow this team. I feel bad for these great players, these players that were so good for the Mets. Todd Zeal's got to cover this crap. Gary Cohen's got to cover this bullshit. Keith Hernandez and Ron Darling have to cover this. Howie Rose has to cover this. You know, I feel bad for them. They gotta follow along with this bullshit. Meanwhile, these assholes are taking pictures of themselves like they're going to a 4th grade a class trip to Washington. I mean, this looks like a class trip. What's up? Yeah, I mean, really, it's ridiculous. I mean, really, how retarded is this? You got guys, 30-something years old, 35 years old, just got their asses kicked this whole weekend for 2 days. This team, since May 1st, they've lost 6 games from the 8th inning on when they've had a lead. And what is there to smile about? Why are they having fun? I go back to that video. I'll put the link into the video from the Moneyball clip, and I post stuff with the Mets stuff. Hopefully I don't get too big trouble with YouTube, but I don't think it will. Because this is part of this. But what are they smiling about? What are they laughing about? What's so much fun about what they're doing on the, you know? I mean, it's like a field trip, this picture. I mean, you know, I mean, this picture is like they've gone on a field trip. You know, like they're going down to Washington. Let's take a ride down to Washington, guys. All right, let's go. I mean, meanwhile, these assholes, putting up, at the stupid signs, the stupid victory signs. It should be more like this. This should be the sign for Francisco Lindor. That should be the official emoji for Francisco Lindor. The thumbs down from now on, and this team. Most of these guys have been here for 3 years since the thumbs down, The leadership has. And it wasn't just Lindor and Baez. There were other players doing the thumbs down as well. And we know that Kevin Pillar was doing it when he was here. You don't like the booing. Too bad. Like Daryl said the other day, it's all part of it. You got to deal with it. You got to live with it. It'll make you better. But this, I'm very fair with the players, very fair with the team, very fair with ownership. But now, it's going to get ugly really quick now. Because now this is not last year. Now this is a year and a half of this lousy play. And you can't blame it all on the manager. How many managers are they going to go through? 2 more? 3 more? Before somebody realized, you know what? These fucking assholes can't win. They had excuses. They always had built-in excuses. There's Mickey Callaway's stupidity with the think, texting women and not getting the lineup right. Then we had to condense. Then they made 2020 to be an excuse for that dope Louis Rojas. And then, of course, Buck, I don't know what happened to Buck. Now we're on to the 4th manager of this group. It's not his fault. He's been doing good. He's been pretty good. He's done a good job. But the problem is this group sucks. You suck. The New York Mets, the 2024 New York Mets suck. And that's as simple as it is, and as simple as it gets. And that's the bottom line. Because the Baseball Hut said so. Thank you, and subscribe.